Hey guys, Grifton here, and today I want to talk about tier 7 versus tier 8. What's the difference? What's the distinction? And where do we switch? When do we switch? What pieces do we wear? All that good stuff. So I'm just going to jump into this and try to get you as clear of a picture as possible by using my particular gear, which is not great gear. I'm way over hit cap. I get that. But it should give you an idea of where the dividing line is. So there are two choices you can go with for the most part once you've gotten into Alduar a little bit, and that is either going 2 pieces of T7 and 2 pieces of T8 or 4 pieces of tier 8. Now, the big difference here is the set bonuses, and I'm going to show you those right now. So if you're rocking the T7 pieces, you are still extending your rip by 4 seconds, and that is absolutely huge. If you give up the T7 gear and go to 4-piece T8, it will increase the duration of Savage Roar and Survival Instincts by 8 seconds, and that itself is huge as well. So you have to choose, do you want to have 4 seconds of Rip or 8 seconds of Savage Roar? And I know the number 8 sounds better, but you're going to be surprised to know that T7 T8 is a little bit stronger than T8 4-piece. And I'm going to explain kind of how I came to this conclusion. So let's just jump into what we're going to call the simulator. Okay, so let's first run my sim. This is right here is my tier 7, tier 8 sim. I think it's the best starting place. Yes, again, way over hit. I apologize for that. Nothing I could do. So 8422, we're going to set this as our reference, and then we're going to run the T8 of the same set, and we're going to sim it. And you're going to see that it's about 45 to 50 DPS loss to where the tier 8 4-piece. Yep, about 55. And I've seen it as low as 40. So they're pretty close. But that is the reality that for a single target boss fight, you're losing a little over 50 or around 50 DPS to where the full tier 8 versus the tier 7, tier 8. The other thing is when you switch to tier 8, the rotation's a little bit different too, because by wearing the tier 8, you're increasing the duration of Savage Roar, which will throw you off, and you're also giving up that 4 seconds. So it'll be something you'll have to adjust. I definitely recommend anytime you change the set bonuses here, you consider going to a training dummy and practicing for a little bit just to get used to it. It takes a little bit of time, but it's definitely worth it, especially because ferals have such a hard rotation. It's good for practice. So this is pretty much the conclusion, right? Tier 7, tier 8 is better than tier 8. Well, tier 7, tier 8 is better at single target. However, I believe that tier 8 is much stronger at AoE because that longer Savage Roar allows you to swipe much more often, because you don't have to worry about reapplying Savage Roar. Or if once Savage Roar falls off, you don't reapply it at all because there's no point, because maybe the health's low. Well, that won't be as big of a concern, because with the extra 8 seconds, it'll tend to last a lot longer and allow you to do a lot more damage. 33% increased damage is a lot. So you'll definitely want to try out the tier 8 4-piece on AoE. So if you're going for overall damage, including trash and all that stuff, your tier 8 is looking really good. But if you're looking for parses on single target bosses, things like that, then yes, tier 7, tier 8 is going to be better. Now, as you get into deeper and deeper gear, you are not going to be going tier 8. You're not even going to be sticking with tier 7, tier 8. You're likely going to be going 2-piece tier 8. And that's it. It's going to look something like this. So you're going to be wearing maybe the Conqueror's Shoulders and the Conqueror's Night Song headguard. And then everything else is just going to be, off pieces is what we call them. So like leggings of Cunning Deception, things like that. And you'll also be moving into the world of ARP. So you'll be stacking ARP and you'll be getting like 9,600 DPS as opposed to the 84 I'm doing now. But it's a gear thing. So yeah, so your tier 8 4-piece likely will not survive to the end of Alduar. That's just the reality. By the way, if you're curious, maybe tier 8 2-piece is garbage too. I did do a quick simulation of 0 tier pieces. You lose about 150 DPS by getting rid of the tier 8 2-piece, just in case you're curious. Now, something else I want to talk about is the tier 8 10-piece gear. It's actually called 8.0, and then the 25 is called 8.5, but nobody uses those, so I'm just going to call it the 10-man tier 8. And I've actually built a set out for that to kind of demonstrate something. So here is the tier 7, tier 8, except instead of the tier 8 25-man, this is the tier 8 10-man, and we're going to sim this. What's cool about this is it is going to sim about 70 DPS less than your tier 7, tier 8 of the 25 man, but at the end of the day, this means that if you're running only 10 mans, you're still only underperforming your 25 man counterpart by roughly 75 when it comes to tier pieces. Obviously, when it comes to 25 man off pieces, they're going to have the advantage there. But if you're not getting into 25 mans, this still is showing you that the tier 8 is actually still really strong, even if you're only rocking 2 pieces and still rocking the tier 7. I just want to get that out there for those of you that aren't running 25 mans yet. But yes, so in conclusion, tier 7, tier 8, slightly stronger than tier 8 in single target. Tier 8, I believe, is much stronger for AoE. I definitely recommend you run both, and whichever one you run, I definitely recommend practicing the new rotation to get used to it. Let me know if you guys disagree, if you have any questions. I really want to talk about all kinds of stuff. I'm definitely going to be doing an Idol of Worship versus Ravenous Beast video very soon, so keep an eye out for that. Thanks for watching, guys, and as always, take care.